Hey guys, welcome to my page for any new people and for any old followers. I'm going to talk about me and my journey and my story because it's something that I haven't really shared in depth with unless you've read some of my book, it's in there. But I want to share my story with people because I think it's important that people understand where I've come from so that they can understand why I'm so incredibly passionate about healing the body holistically and as natural as possible, because if you don't understand where I've come from, then you won't understand what makes me do the work that I do and why I want to help people so much. My mission and my goal is to empower people to learn how to heal themselves with the power of food as their own medicine, healing their gut microbiome, as well as taking other healing modalities like yoga or whatever else it may be, Reiki, whatever works for you. But the main focus that I work on is food as medicine and gut health healing, as well as yoga. These are the three aspects that I look into to heal the body because it's what's worked for me. And I know it works because I've gone on this journey myself from the age of 18 years old, which is what I'm going to share, actually 13. I'm going to share this with you, my journey, and hopefully it will inspire you to understand that your body can heal naturally. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dani. I am a holistic nutrition coach, personal trainer, yoga teacher, motivational speaker, life coach, published author of Beauty and the Gut, and an ex-school teacher as well. My mission for where I am right now, I'm 40 years old in 1 more month, but this all started, my own journey started at the age of 13 years old when I first developed chronic acne. At the age of 13, I developed chronic acne all over my body. I had it on my back, my shoulders, my chest, my neck, and my face. And it wasn't just a few little spots. The worst was actually on my shoulders and back because these were boils, really, really painful boils. Sometimes when I walked to school and I had my bag on my shoulders, it would actually really hurt. And sometimes they would pop and bleed and really disgusting. And that started at 13. So obviously we wanted answers. My mum took me to the doctor and the doctor prescribed us what they usually do is take these antibiotics and gave me some antibiotic lotion to apply to my spots that I had on my face as well. So I did what the doctor told me to do, and the antibiotics didn't work, and the lotion that I used also burnt my skin really bad, so I had burn marks on my face. I went back to the doctor and the doctor prescribed me a different set of antibiotics. I took them, I continued with the lotion because, it was burning my spots away, but it was also really burning my skin. And I continued with it for a while, but my skin was just getting worse on my face and the antibiotics were just doing absolutely nothing at all. So we were just trying everything, there were loads of spot lotions on, body lotions that you can put on your skin for the bath and things for acne. And my mum was buying me everything and we were trying our best. And nothing was working, and I was just getting so fed up with having these spots, awful spots all over my body. Tried the saunas, my mum would take me to the sauna, stopped wearing makeup, but then I was really self-conscious, so I wanted to wear makeup at 13, 14 because I wanted to hide my skin, and I was wearing chemical makeup, so I was just aggravating it and making it worse. This just continued for quite a few years. There was even one point where my mum bought me Dettol and she was like, have a bath in Dettol because that might just clean your skin up. Not realizing at the time that was actually one of the worst things as well I could have done. But we just didn't know what to do. We were trying everything and there was no mention by the doctors of using food and asking what kind of foods you were currently eating. So when I got to 16, the doctor, so now I'd got up to from 13 to 16, I'd been living with chronic acne all this time. They then referred me to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist gave me the vitamin A gel, I forgot what it's called, the retinol gel for my skin. And then she also said that we can prescribe you Roaccutane. But my dermatologist was really good. She went into the side effects and she said that if you take the Roaccutane, it will destroy your health for the rest of your life. Loads and loads of side effects. And for me, it didn't sit well with me because it was going to cause so many health problems, even infertility. And I was just like, no, this isn't for me. So the last option was all we can do is prescribe you the contraceptive pill. I was 16 years old, and I was prescribed Dianete, which I believe is now actually off the market because it's so devastating to your health. But that's what I was given, and there was no, like, she didn't even go into the side effects of the Dianete. It was just like, take the contraceptive pill, it'll sort your hormones out, you'll get rid of it. And I did. My acne actually disappeared, and for the first time in my life since the age of 13, I felt like a joy because I was able to wear like tops where you could see my shoulders, and I wasn't hiding my body anymore like I used to, and it just felt like such a relief that my skin had finally cleared up. But then, roll on, only 2 years later, I was then diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. So I was 18 and I was studying at university, a performance arts degree. I didn't realize anything was actually wrong with me. It was someone in my course, she said to me, your neck looks really swollen. And I was like, what on earth are you talking about? But she actually had an underactive thyroid. So she knew, she was like, that's your goiter, it's your thyroid, there's something wrong with it. So I think I must have just got straight onto my mum, and my mum phoned the doctor, and the doctor then saw me. I think I had a blood test, and they confirmed you do have Graves' disease, and I had a massive goiter on my neck, and I hadn't even noticed it, but it was so bad. So my overactive thyroid, my Graves' disease was at such an advanced stage, so it had been there like lingering for goodness knows how long. So the doctor prescribed me Carbimazole and beta blockers for my heart, because when you have an overactive thyroid, you have severe heart palpitations and shaky hands. I actually did start to notice this when I was diagnosed, because I hadn't even noticed, but I was slowly getting worse. And the medication actually wasn't working. So I was on them for a little while, and the doctors were like, they're not working, and we don't know what else we can do for you other than destroy your thyroid. Again, there was no mention about food or anything. These were just the steps that I was told. So they put every ounce of fear into me, because they were like, you need to act now, because you're severe, like you're such an advanced stage that you could have a heart attack at any point, because your heart is so like rapid, these heart palpitations. You could also get osteoporosis. And it was just like, oh my God, scare me, whatever. So they then said, listen, there's only two options you have. One option is we can slice open your neck, and remove the goiter, remove your thyroid. But this is going to be a very risky procedure because your goiter is so big. This means you're going to lose a lot of blood. You will also be left, they have to cut it from here, so you will be left with a scar there for the rest of your life. And then because you will be potentially, you could die from the operation, and you may be in hospital for about 2 weeks because you will lose a lot of blood through the operation. And it just sounded absolutely awful at the age of 18. The other option was you can take a radioactive pill, you will take it internally, and then it will just destroy the thyroid off for the rest of your life. So obviously I chose the radioactive pill. Sounds easier, right? That was the option I chose. Now I have no memory of the actual day that I went for the treatment. I think I have blanked it completely out of my mind. I just don't remember it. My mum was with me. She told me that we had to go down into a dungeon somewhere in the hospital. It was like down because it's radioactive. So obviously you've got to stay away from people. And I was sent into a room by myself, and a woman, I'm guessing the nurse, there's a little hatch where she put the little pill through. She was in a mask and everything as well. And I took the pill. And then I wasn't allowed to go near anyone for 2 weeks. So I had to stay inside my bedroom for 2 weeks. And I was not allowed to go near anyone who was pregnant or children for 4 weeks. I was radioactive. Lovely, eh? So I believed that by taking this radioactive iodine pill, I would improve. My health would improve, my goiter would just go away, my health would just be back to normal, and I can continue life as normal. And that did not happen. So I'd had a thyroid destroyed. Now at this time I did not understand what the thyroid did. I had no idea what its job was in the body. All I knew was I was going to have to take thyroxine medication for the rest of my life, because now I wasn't able to produce the hormone naturally. now as a 40-year-old woman who has studied nutrition for the last 20 years, understands how important your own thyroid is and that it should never be removed unless, of course, you're dying and you need to have it removed. But for my situation, all I needed to do was change my diet and heal my body. And this is something that I am incredibly passionate about now, because I have had to go on a journey where my health and body deteriorated after the radioactive iodine treatment. So I will follow with photographs of me before the treatment and after the treatment, because before the treatment, I had always been a slim size 8. I wore tight mini skirts and I showed off my figure because I had a lovely figure. And then after the treatment, I went from a size 8 to a size 16. I gained so much weight. And as a young woman, I was just so depressed that I had gained such an amount of weight. None of my clothes in the wardrobe fit me anymore. And I just started to wear baggy clothes because I was so unhappy with how I looked. I then developed depression. And because my body was so malnourished, because I now had no nutrition or thyroid or anything, I then started to crave the bad foods, which then fueled my depression and anxiety even more. And I was eating things like chocolate, which I didn't even eat before. I was never a chocoholic. So I was just grabbing all the chocolates. I was eating McDonald's. I was eating Chinese takeaways. I was eating pizzas. I was just eating everything that was bad, because I didn't know about nutrition. I didn't know at this moment that my body had just gone through a massive treatment, radioactive. I had destroyed every single organ in my body with that radioactive pill. I had destroyed my gut. I had destroyed everything, and my body was screaming out for nutrition, but I didn't know this. And I started to eat all the bad foods because I was so mineral deficient. My body was asking for nutrition, and I didn't know this. So I ate everything wrong, and I had no energy. I spent the afternoons coming in from my job. I was working part-time in a supermarket, and I would just come straight in and fall asleep at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was drained. I also nearly lost my job because the manager did not believe that there was something wrong with me, and my dad had to go up to the supermarket and have a meeting with them and say, this is what's happening with my daughter. And they really didn't believe, because to the outside, you just look like you've put a bit of weight on and you're a bit tired, but I was going through a lot. So I had a lot of struggles with my part-time work. And then I was studying, I was doing a degree, and I also had to leave my degree and wait 1 year. So I ended up graduating a year after all of my friends graduated, which was also really tough because I didn't have any friends when I went back to uni, and I just hated that. But eventually, I got my degree, but there was a lot that went on that couple of years. So my body was just like, I had to go through such a healing process. And why I'm also very, very passionate about prevention of chronic illnesses, because when you have got that first diagnosis of a chronic health problem, it takes a long time to heal. And what I want to teach everyone is that your body can heal, but we're not allowing it to heal because we're being told the wrong advice with medications, and then we're also not told that food is part of your healing journey. So this is what I want to cover with you next, because by a divine miracle, I don't know why, but in my house there was a book, and it was called Foods That Harm and Foods That Heal. And there was one day I felt really guided because I'd hit rock bottom. I'd gained so much weight. My dad even mentioned to me, he was like, you have gone so fat. Obviously, I'm 19 by this point. I was just devastated. So I started to open the book, and it was so interesting because then I started to understand, wow, food can either heal me or create illness? What? No one's ever told me this before. I've just been prescribed medications. And this is when I got hooked. I was 19, and I started to get really hooked on learning about food because it was breaking down what foods do for your skin, what foods do for this organ and this organ. And it was just so enlightening. So I started to go to the health nutrition shops, things like Holland and Barrett, and pick up like certain things. Like I was getting pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds and all these new things and just experimenting. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I'd never been a cook. I just used to eat processed meals and everything that was bad for me, which is also why I developed so many problems with my skin and my health, which I go into in my book. So I started to then slowly begin to change my diet, and it was a very slow process because there was a lot to learn. But I dedicated every single hour of my spare time to go into that library, because remember, back in those days we had no Google. I couldn't do no Google search engines. It was all about me getting books out and sitting and reading and learning. And it started then, and it's still continuing 20 years later. Now I'm qualified in holistic nutrition, and I have dedicated every single ounce of my spare time to educating myself to be in the best health I possibly can. And I'm also now educating other people to be in their best health too, because I'm so passionate about it. It's taken me 20 years to get to where I am now with my health. I am stronger and fitter than I've ever been, and I have only taken 20 years because I was on a journey of healing and learning. But now I know the information. This is why I wrote my book, because I needed to get everything I know so that some people out there won't have to go 20 years, because it's all in that book. So you can just do it now. Like it's not going to take you 20 years like it took me, because I've had to research, I've had to study, and then I brought the book together to make it easy as possible for everyone else. The book, the recipe book I have, and all the workshops I do, it's to make things easy for people to understand. This is why I do what I do, because I went through so much of a struggle, and I understood as the years went by that the reason why I developed chronic acne was because I drank so much dairy. I drank copious amounts of milk. I was a milkaholic. And I realize now that that dairy was triggering chronic inflammation in my gut. I had leaky gut, I had bad bacteria, I had pathogens, parasites, I was eating processed meals, I didn't drink any water, I was just drinking milk. Everything I was feeding my body was wrong. And the doctor never once asked me about your diet. They just kept saying antibiotics, kept feeding me these antibiotics, not realizing at the time that these antibiotics were destroying my gut microbiome. They were destroying all of my good bacteria. They were weakening my immune system, or even making it more hyperactive, which is why it then later developed, not long later, into Graves' disease, an autoimmune reaction, because I had a hyperactive immune system, because I'd been given all of the wrong advice. I'd be given antibiotics. I was not told about food. I was eating the wrong foods. I was living in an environment where there was too many cleanliness as well, destroying my immune system. There was too many things going on that were destroying my gut microbiome. And eventually it triggered off this autoimmune reaction. If I had have known what I know today, all I needed to do was calm my immune system down, these cytokines that I mention a lot in other videos, and heal naturally with foods as medicine, mainly plant foods, cleanse my body of any toxins, heavy metals, and really start to heal from the inside out. Because no medication, no antibiotic, no radioactive iodine treatment will ever get to the root cause of your actual health concern. It has to come down to get into that root, which is always going to start with the gut health first. And it's always going to come down to the amount of nutrition, the good foods that you're putting in, as well as how many good bacteria you have in your gut, because most of us are running on bad bacteria, as was I. And this is why I had so many health problems. And then I also had a weight issue, which I had to then to get through with that, which was another issue on top of everything else I was going through. I went through a massive struggle for no reason. All I needed to do was change my diet. So at the age of 13, rather than be prescribed these antibiotics, what really should have happened, I should have been asked, are you having dairy? Because if they had have asked me that, I would have said, hell yeah, I have a lot of milk. And processed meals have dairy in as well. All I needed to do was eat these cleansing foods, more fruits, more vegetables, more of these herbs, all of these natural healing foods, and my skin would have started to naturally clear. And I may never have developed an autoimmune disease at the age of 18. I went through so much struggle for no reason, when all I needed to really do was just look at my diet. And this is why I'm so passionate about what I do. Everything in life happens to us for a purpose. It's my mission to help people This is why I do what I do. And I want people to understand where I've come from. I'm not just some crazy person who keeps saying, have your food as medicine and do your yoga and things. The reason why I do what I do is because I see so much struggle. The world is getting sicker, it's not getting healthier. More and more people are being diagnosed with chronic illnesses. We have type 1 diabetes, we have type 2 diabetes, we have heart disease, we have cancer, we have all of these autoimmune diseases. There are so many, over 100 different kinds of autoimmune reactions. These are increasing day by day. Children are now getting them. Obesity is on the rise. Then we've got your skin issues on top of that. We've got eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, chronic acne as well. They all come down to the same thing. We have to change our food. We have to heal our gut microbiome. And then what we're doing is, what we're being told is the wrong advice. Like me, we go to the doctor and we get medication and it's not answering our question because it's not getting to the root of our issue, which is coming down to the food that you put into your mouth every single day. And let's not forget the chronic stress neither, because stress is a major factor too, which is why I also teach yoga, because we need to switch on our parasympathetic nervous system to allow the body to heal. And most again are living in their sympathetic nervous system, which is also fueling disease. There are a lot of factors that fuel our diseases, which is what I teach. The main driver is the foods that we eat. Now, yeah, it's easy to take a medication, right? Because that means you can still continue to eat those foods. But in a lot of cases, it's only making your situation worse, which is when I get my clients who are ready to heal because they're going round and round in circles with the medication road. All I want to do is educate people that your body can naturally heal by itself when you give it the right environment. All I'm doing is teaching you the right foods to eat and the right healing systems that are going to allow your body to thrive, be free from pain, be free from disease, and be free from any skin issues that we may have as well. I'm your teacher. I'm not your healer, because your body is the healer. And it's up to you to make that choice whether you want to allow it to heal. If someone had have came to me at the age of 13 or even 18 and said to me, Dani, you have to change your food now. I want you to do this. I want you to follow this, and you will allow your body to naturally heal. You don't have to have your radioactive iodine. You don't have to have thyroid medication for the rest of your life. You can do this naturally. If someone had have told me this, I would have said yes, but I didn't know any of this, and I've had to struggle to get where I am today. So this is my mission. And I want you to really thrive and be healthy. I want you to live your best healthy life and be inspired and be motivated and wake up free from your illness, because life is meant to be free from pain and be in your best health. Wake up and feel strong in your body. You know, like, I make this happen for myself, guys. I get up every day and there are some days I don't feel like doing my yoga or exercise, but I do it and I feel good when I do it. I also love the food that I eat. I don't put anything bad in unless, like, you know, I'm out for a meal or whatever. This has to come down to your dedication and commitment. How much do you want to heal? How much do you want to love the person you look at when you see in the mirror? To feel strong, to feel like you are capable of achieving anything. This has to come down to you and your mission as well. I am only here as your guide, but this is my mission. And I want people to understand where I've come from to make it as like easy as possible. This is my mission. Like, my book is so darn easy. Like, just read it. And if you don't understand still, I'm there for your coaching. I'm there for the works. I'm there for everything. I just deal with so many things. Like, I'm specialized in gut health and food as medicine and holistically healing. And all you have to do is get on the road to commitment and learn. This is about learning, guys. I am a teacher. And I want to teach, and I want you to come out the other end feeling amazing and be like, oh my God, I actually did this for myself, okay? I want this for everyone. So please take care of your health and understand that there is a better road and that your body can naturally heal when you give it the right environments and the right foods. So as always, I wish you good health. Stay positive, and if anyone wants to buy my book, it's on Amazon and other various bookstores, and you can also join me for one-on-one coaching and sign up to my YouTube channel for more videos on nutrition, as well as yoga videos, because I'm bringing you yoga videos as well at least once a week to keep you active. And if yoga is not for you, then at least make sure that you're doing some kind of exercise to move your body on a regular basis, even if it's just a little walk every day. But I really hope that you understand my mission, because I get so many people who just don't seem to get what I'm trying to do. But this is me, and I'm here to help now. I've gone through my journey. I'm still learning. I'm still doing new things all the time for myself, because I want to improve all the time, because it's about learning. It's a journey. It's always about growth. It's always about transformation and change all the time. And I just want the best for everyone. Okay, peace, guys.
Months. Totally different person. I developed anxiety, depression. I had so much fatigue, I just wanted to go to sleep all the time. I also started to binge eat on food because I was so depressed. I didn't like who I'd become. I started to wear all these baggy clothes because nothing in my wardrobe fit me. I was a size 8. I used to wear these tiny little skirts. I couldn't even get them up my leg. It was awful. And I didn't know how on earth I was ever going to get myself back to the way I used to be. I was a very social person. I used to go out and socialize a lot. I didn't want to do any of that. I had long hair. I got my hair cut short. I didn't wear any makeup. I was like, I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. So I was like this for